Hey guys, what's going on? This is MJ from Wrecker RC here with my good old-fashioned D90 Grande 2 chassis from RC4WD Drive. And sorry for that randomness. You can see my Class 0 wheels. I'm not sure if this is going to go on this particular set truck or this will go on my TF2, but I am getting ready for one of the comps I have coming up that's going to be pretty awesome. So, part of this getting ready is this little piece right here. Servo Winch. Now, I want you guys to think, why do I have a servo winch inside here versus on the outside? Give you guys a second. Well, if you're thinking about clearance, then you're on the right thought process. I'm a performance-based person, not so much a scale type person. So this is going to give me the best performance possible. I have had this exactly as is through Motorama, and I pirated that particular servo winch and put it on a different vehicle. So it's time to get another one of these built. So how did I build it? It's not down, it's just, it's there. So how did I build it? As you can see, a couple shards of aluminum. That's what I used. I used aluminum as my main base. I used a couple of good old-fashioned M3s. Please be very careful. The M3 screws, there you go. If I can get it to focus. Some of the cheaper Chinese screws don't like to thread, and it will cause havoc and basically strip out. I don't know, it's steel on aluminum, but as you can see, I had to use a pair of pliers to get it off. Anyway, what I used was 1/8 inch aluminum, okay? I used a couple M3 screws, which you can see, all 2mm. And then I also used a Sawzall and 2 Dremels, really. I just happen to have 2 and whatnot. Anyway, so I took the 1/8 inch aluminum, which is some of the bigger stuff that your local hardware store will have. Should be stocked where the screws are. And I cut off about a piece a little bit bigger than the servo, as you guys can see. What, about 2.5, 3 inches? I didn't measure it. I've done this before. I just kind of knew what I needed. And then I cut off 2 more small pieces. One, and then you could see the more finished one, if you will, number 2. So, what I did, I had my full angle, and as you can see, this is the height of the angle. It's almost the full size of the servo, and I cut it. I lined this up on my actual mount. There we go. I marked where the hole will be. If you guys can see very carefully, that's where you can see it's going to line up. The screw from the shock will go right in there, and I'll have a nut on the back side. And then I also cut this down because it would be sticking way up here where this piece is for clearance. That way there was nothing interfering with this piece, this screw slash where most servo horns would go. I'm not about messing with that. I just want to make sure it's clean and clear. After that, I drilled 2 holes per piece. Okay, one on the bottom to connect, as you can see, and then one so it can actually connect to the servo. I did it for the other side as well. I do the holes first, which you can see a little bit better there. It's a little bit off, but that's okay. I'll adjust that with a little reaming out, and I'll put a nut on that to make sure that it's flush and solid. And then here I need to cut. Okay, I need to cut these 2 pieces just to make it nice and pretty. You can actually kind of see where my lines are. So with this, I'm not worried about prettiness. I'm worried about functional. Also, with the terms of the Dremel, if you only have one, that's fine. Absolutely, for many years, it's what I had. I happen to have an extra one, courtesy of a family member that is currently staying with us. So what I needed and used was a cutoff wheel. Please use a good quality cutoff wheel, not one of the cheap ones. And then I also used a sanding disc. Okay, that way you can sand off any of the jagged edges. Because face it, we don't want any more injuries on a trail, or if you're in a comp, you don't want to deal with that, accidentally get cut. And I actually, you saw the condition of that sanding disc. It doesn't matter where I'm at, I like to make sure that it's sanded at least quickly, so that way I'm not going to get stuck with aluminum, because that just hurts. And also, I am going to be replacing the 65-pound braid. Although in fishing lines, that is excellent stuff. I happen to have some 250-pound braid that I'm going to work with. All right, so if you guys have any questions, please leave a comment, talk to me, and whatnot. Sorry. This mod is excellent for the TF2 and D90 Grande 2 chassis. Key thing is, you must have the Grande 2 shock hoops for this to work correctly. Because if you only have the single one, like on the stock TF2, there's not enough clearance and it will not work. Because you look very carefully, they line up just about perfect, and there's no room for clearance. There you go. There is zero room for clearance. So you've got to have the Grande 2 shock hoops in order to do this correctly. All right. You have any questions, please let us know. See how nicely that lines up. Boom. Good to go. And I have had this in competition, and I've used the crap out of it, and it does hold up. That's why I'm making a second one. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead. Please talk to me. Let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. This is about RC on a budget. All right, guys. Record signing off. Have a great one.